Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's Proclamation News and Gatherings. Welcome on board. And it's time for the Proclamation News and Gatherings. It's nearly midwinter, so wrap up and buckle your seatbelts. Every day is very beneficial to tune in and see what's in store for us UK road users, and also anyone in different regions, and share its contents via social media for the safety of your family and loved ones. We are cheaper than the Daily Mail. We are cheaper than the Daily Telegraph. It's free to air, so stay tuned in. Today's modern society, we take a look at UK roads. Safety within the infrastructure. So think first, think safety. Do not enter your car under the influence of alcohol. Do not enter your car under the influence of narcotics. Do not enter your car under sleep deprivation, making sure you and the passengers on board have safety belts, and babies have seat belts adapter adjacent to the car seat. Check your engine coolant tank and engine oil are filled up to the maximum level. Check your tyres or PSI limits before takeoff, and also tyre treads, and make sure they're not bowled. Look out for further road safety signs and further police instructions. Check both your wing mirrors and centre mirrors before acting and turning to a safe, sufficient direction of choice, making sure motorcycles are not overtaking and pedestrians are not crossing as you're just about to take over. Plan your destination. Make sure you've got sufficient fuel on board. It's the UK Road Safety Guidelines by the Proclamation to give you some acknowledgement of road congestions, roadworks and car incidents. So it's very beneficial to subscribe, show your support, give me some encouragement and share to keep not only me but others' safety within the UK road. Please call 999 or 101 for emergency and the legal authorities' assistance. But please have some forbearance, as our police are very, very busy day to day with many different regimes. Racketeering, theft, road incidents, arson, etc. Our fire brigade are busy with many fires, officers, fields, etc. And giving our children at school the pat-down tools for our children. Fireman Sam says, do not play with fire or matches. Our wonderful NHS are very busy with many elderly patients, hip operations, heart disease, cancer, and many people have slips or falls at work. Did you know most deaths at work are caused by slips, trips or falls? So think safety, think first. Make sure you've got your competence card, your CSCS card. Wimpole Road. It's culture stuff, I'm assuming. Water main work, temporary traffic signals. Temporary traffic signals due to water main work on Wimpole Road on Military Road is reported on the 20th January, 20 to 3 p.m. Ardley, Back Road closed, telecoms work, road closed due to telecoms work on Back Road, both ways from Mill Lane to Waterhouse Lane, 21st of January at 12 a.m. In Hadley, the B1070 road closed due to construction on the B1070 Bridge Street, both ways from Calais Street to Anne Beaumont Way, 20th of January, 2:20 at 12 a.m. Bury St Edmunds, A134. My friend Lewis lives there. If you're listening, Louis, there could be a road. Oh, there is a road closed due to construction during the night on the A134, both ways from the street to Carlford Road. 21st January at 7 p.m. it is reported. Now we're going to something more ironically but more appropriate for most listeners. I find it rather extraordinary and peculiar, if I'm totally honest. It's TV showbiz and it's gossip, only on Proclamation News and Gatherings. When this morning's Philip Schofield and Holly Willoughby were in shock after the body language expert said Brad Pitt was pointing his SAG award at Jennifer Aniston. in a phallic way. The pair were open-mouthed after Mike Carter said the 56-year-old star held the statuette low down and pointed right at her. It looks ever so young. I mean, the morning body's language expert said Brad was holding the statue in a phallic way. Philip Schofield and Holly Willoughby were reeling at the... The expert was on the show to discuss the recent photos of Brad and Jen looking close. Philip is 57, asked him directly what about the way he was holding his award. Absolutely directly, is pointing right at her. Nothing saggy about his sag is there. The pair both looked stunned, with Holly muttering, "Oh my God." Early in the programme, Mike made a string of remarks about pictures of Brad and Jennifer chatting, saying their sexual attraction is so strong. A lot of couples separate and remain good friends, and there's a difference in the body language of good friends and more people who are actually sexual. The towel sign there is that he's gripping onto her wrists, which means "don't go, I want to keep you." He added, "She's pointing to him," which a way of saying "I'm interested." Today, Jennifer posted 2 images of her big night out, the SAG Awards, one before and a very cheeky one from after. She was seen in a stunning ivory gown, attempting to lay flat in a luxury ride on the way to Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles to avoid creasing her dress. The second simply showed her dress thrown over the side of her bathtub and her shoes kicked off. Of course, fans couldn't stop themselves from poking fun at the scene, with one writing, "I hope Brad took the dress off," while another joked, "I see Brad's jacket on the floor back there." Well, that is extraordinary in today's lineup. Something different for the audience. Now we are back to the usual UK politics. I mean, nowadays, inside Westminster Abbey, it's not unusual or uncommon to talk about Proclamation news and gatherings. It's drastically building one of the UK's best news brands and articles. So share its acknowledgement we are in control of the people's choice, giving you the law advice and what the law divides, with Flux News Daily by Professor Johnson. I mean, SNP government blasted over loophole in £10 a week child benefits policy. The state reports that around 50,000 poor children may be affected due to difficulty in accessing data from the HMRC and the DWP. Shirley Ann Somerville believes the SNP will cut poverty in Scotland. The SNP government has been urged to plug a loophole in a new benefits policy that could see 50,000 poor children lose out. Experts said Minister should explore ways of ensuring a new £420 a year payment is not taken off families. Labour SNP Mark Griffin said it is time that the SNP listen to the experts and find a way to do the right by the families affected. Struggling families will be entitled to £10 a week under the Scottish Child Payment SCP. The Policy Cabinet Secretary Shirley Ann Somerville believes will cut the poverty levels. Around 170,000 children under 6 will benefit from December, and a further rollout to families with other kids later on. However, the Daily Record has revealed that some qualifying families who choose is 5 this year will lose out. These households will receive the CSP for their 5-year-olds, but the cash will stop if a child turns 6 either 2021 or 2022. A government paper previously notified the start-stop approach which caused by the technical and legal issues. In a new report by the Scottish Commission on Social Security, which advises ministers, experts flagged the problem. The States and Scottish Government has told us that around 50,000 children may be affected, and that this results from difficulty assessing their administrative data to assess the eligibility of older children. The Commission has then added the Scottish Government should explore whether there is any deliverable way of ensuring continuity of the SCP support to those families who need to meet criteria, avoid the loss of the entitlement which a child turned 6 between the launch of the SCP and the extension to the older children. Griffin has then said, if the SNP listened to the Scottish Labour when he raised the issue rather than lashing out, we could have resolved it already. A Scottish Social Security Commission has made clear the Scottish Government persists several thousand families will lose their SCP support within months first getting it, hitting families hard in the pocket. A Scottish Government spokesperson said, the Scottish child payment has rightly been described as a game changer in terms of potential to reduce child poverty. This is why we are doing everything we can to introduce the groundbreaking payment, which we are delivering almost 2 years early. To make Scottish child payments to children at age 6 or over, we need to be able to certify that a client is entitled to the benefit, and that relies on data from the HMRC and the DWP. The DWP has confirmed that the required data on children at age 6 and over will not be delivered in time to launch the Scottish child payment. We are waiting for them to confirm timetable for when the data will be delivered. The provision of this payment to families and children under the age of 6 is in recognition of the fact that of the children in poverty, almost 60% live in a household where the youngest child is under age 6. It's Proclamation News and Gatherings, ladies and gents. Keep preserved. Stay listening in. The working class is mental health. Poor mental health in the workplace is costing UK employers more, according to a new report by consultancy from Deloitte of the Mental Health Charity Mind. With workers often scared to talk about being unwell and lack of funding available, these 5 charts show the extent of the challenging bosses face. An increase in cost. The consultancy firm Deloitte said that a range of factors have contributed towards reported increase in cost. Employers are spending unproductive hours at work when ill, rather than taking time off. Some workers are also experiencing burnout as technology, so that the saying burn a can at both ends, as technology makes it easier to log extra time and check emails outside designated working hours, and more seem to be affected by mental health problems in recent years. The overall number of sick days taken per employee fell from 5.3 to 4.4 between 2008 and 2018, while the amount of time lost because of mental health conditions went up. Time lost due to mental health. Part of the increase in cost has come down to a rise in wages paid workers over the past few years. The new research by Deloitte suggests that the poor mental health costs UK bosses more than 43 billion in 2018. This is an increase of 16%. The last estimate of 37 billion in 2016. How can you put a price on mental health? How can you put a price on mental health? The wages people are paid when they are on sick leave is one way to estimate the cost, but people often don't disclose that they're sick leave for mental health problems, so the true cost could be higher. On the other hand, if your work just waits for you to come back in, it's not costing your employer that much. Measuring the cost of underperformance caused by mental health is even more tricky. If you're making a case to bosses, you need to speak pounds and pence, but mental health problems are often hard to pin down precisely, and the numbers describing them are no different. The study follows up government-commissioned review that about 15% of people at work have symptoms of mental health. It's changing the workplaces. The new study tracks the increase of presenteeism, or when people go to work despite not feeling up to it. If staff are under pressure to attend work, the number of sick days taken fails. The less productive they are when on site, presenteeism is rising up. Percentage of employees coming to work despite feeling ill.